Good morning, students. Today we are continuing the chapter water. Yes. In the last video, we had talked about the two forms or the two sources of water that we get, that is the surface water and the underground water. Then we talked about the water cycle. Yes, evaporation and condensation and precipitation, how it comes back on the face of the earth. Yes, and then we also talked about how important safe drinking water is. So we catch up from the safe drinking water. The safe water. Yes, we had talked that there are two things. One is undissolved impurity and one is dissolved impurity. Yes, so it is important as well as easy to separate the undissolved impurities. It is easy and necessary also, because you cannot see dirty water and drink it. Can you do that? No. First and foremost thing, what will you say? That this water is dirty. It needs to be cleared. Yes. So how do we separate that undissolved impurity from water? Okay. In that thing, or in that further if we go, to purify water, what is it? Impurities that are not dissolved in water can be removed easily. Methods used to remove undissolved impurity from water are: first one is sedimentation. What is the first one? Sedimentation. When you have water which is dirty, yes, full of mud, okay, what do you do with that water? Like, I have an example. I have not taken mud, but I have taken something else. Now when this is there in water, yes, you can see like that the water is dirty. Now what do? We keep this dirty water for some time. We keep this aside. Yes. After say few minutes or few hours, according to the quantity of water, yes, what happens? The water, the impurities or the undissolved impurities, to be specific, will settle down. That is called as sedimentation of the impurities. Like just now I showed you a glass. Now here, if you see, this was kept for some time and you can see the impurities settled down. Yes, can you see the impurities settled down? The water that is up is clear and the impurities are settled down. Now this is called as nothing but sedimentation. Settling down of the impurities when kept untouched is called as sedimentation. Okay. And when I take out this clear water into a separate glass, a clean glass, when I take out this water into a separate glass without, see, yes, if you see, the impurities are in this glass and the clear water which was there up above it, I have taken it out into a clean other beaker or glass. This is called, this pouring out of the clean water from the sedimentation in a new separate clean glass is called as decantation. What is it called as? Decantation. Yes, so we have talked about two methods of purification of water. First one is sedimentation. The second one is decantation. Okay, the decantation. I'll give you the definitions for it. This is this process in which the impurities settle down at the bottom is called as sedimentation. The method of collecting the clean water after sedimentation is called decantation. Okay. Now, what is the most important part? That sedimentation and decantation go hand in hand. Go hand in hand. Both the things have to be done one after the other. Yes, one after the other you will have to do it. You will have to first let the impurities settle down, and then you need to do what? You need to take out or separate that clean water into a separate new vessel, into a new beaker, into a new glass, so that you can use it. Otherwise, what will happen if you shake that water again, the sedimented water? What will happen? The impurities will start dissolving again, or it will start mingling again. Okay, yes. So with this we come to the next method of purification of water, and that method is filtration. Yes. Now filtration needs a proper setup. It needs few things, like you need a mixture of dirty water, yes, in a beaker. Then you need a stand. Then you need a funnel on which you will put a filter paper. What will you put? You will put a filter paper. Yes. And keep a clean beaker or a vessel underneath the funnel. Okay. And then once this setup is done, from the beaker, or slowly you will put the dirty water into the filter paper. In that case, what will happen? All the impurities will start collecting in the filter paper, and slowly, drop by drop, the clean water will start falling into the clean beaker which is kept under the funnel. Okay. Now if you see that diagram, there is one glass rod which is used. Why is that glass rod used? Because we need to see that the water goes at the correct place. That means it should go inside the filter paper. So if you drop the water, if you pour the water on that glass rod, slowly and slowly the water is directed into the filter paper which is kept into the funnel. Yes, this is how you find that the water is filtered and you get clean water. Your mothers do this filtration without an apparatus also. When that dirty water is poured through a muslin cloth, yes, that also acts like a filtration. That also acts like a filtration. Yes. So we have talked about 3 methods of purifying water. Yes, one is sedimentation, second one was decantation. We saw that these two methods go hand in hand. Yes, these two methods go hand in hand. And then we have the next topic method is filtration. Filtration is done with the help of filter paper and funnel and a complete setup. Yes, in this way we filter the water and we can utilize it. Understood? Yes, I'll leave you for a second with the board. Okay, we start with the next topic, that is underground water. Yes, underground water is nothing but the water table that is there beneath the crust of the or the first layer of the soil down. We know that beneath the soil layer there are big rocks. Okay, what are they? What is it? They are big rocks. Now those rocks also have different kind of characteristics. Some are porous and some rocks are non-porous. Some rocks are porous and some rocks are non-porous. So what do you mean by, we'll have to understand what do you mean by porous and what do you mean by non-porous. Like you have say a sponge, that is, this sponge has the capacity to retain or to absorb water. It has the capacity to absorb water. So the porous rock also is like a sponge. It has the capacity to hold water. Yes, and the non-porous rock, what happens in the non-porous rock? The non-porous rock will not let the water seep inside. Yes, so if the first layer is of the non-porous rock, if the first layer itself is of the non-porous rock, what will happen? Non-porous rock, what will happen? The water will flow above it because it will not go in. Yes, instead of that, if we say that the layer is of porous rock, this layer is of porous rock, what will happen? When the rains come in, the water will seep inside and this porous rock will hold the water. Yes, but in that case, it will hold the water till it does not have a non-porous rock. That is, at the end, you need to have a non-porous rock. The last layer of the rock should be a non-porous rock. Yes, so what will happen? This water content will remain, and when we will drill a well here or we will make a well, we can utilize this water from the well. We can utilize this water from the well. Okay, so that is how we can utilize the underground water. Understood? Now the topmost layer of this water content is called as water table. What is it called as? Water table. Underground water, when it rains, some water seeps into means goes into the ground. This water passes through the soil and through the porous rock below it. It collects over the non-porous rock. As I told you, the last rock needs to be a non-porous rock. This water is called as underground water. The level of underground water in a place is called water table. The level, the first layer of water, yes, above the porous rock, the non-porous rock, yes, the first surface, the first line of that water will be called as the water table of that underground water. Okay, now what happens is that because the population is going on increasing, what happens? What are we doing? We are making bore wells through pumps. We are sucking out that water, and the water table is going on decreasing. The water table is going on decreasing. On the other hand, we are cementing, or we are making metalled roads everywhere, and we are not keeping the land open or the soil. We are cutting down trees. So the rate of water that is seeping inside is reducing. What is happening? It is reducing. As I told you, if the first layer is non-porous, the water will not seep in. So if we make everywhere, we are making roads and we are cementing the land, we don't make gardens, we don't help forest to grow, what will happen? The first layer, on purpose, we are turning it into non-porous land, and the rainwater that will come will go directly into the drains, isn't it? Into the drains, and what will happen? That water will be called as dirty water. Whereas if that rain falls and seeps into the ground and you utilize it through wells, bore wells, hand pumps, then it is pure form of water. We can utilize, or we can use that water. Yes, so it is important to understand that underground water table needs to be maintained. It should not be used greedily. We should not be wasting water. Okay, so with this we come to the end of this chapter, that is water. Okay, in the next class, next video, I'll be putting in the study material and some practice questions. Please see that you read the study material carefully, see the pictures given in the study material, and understand the chapter again. And also do the practice questions somewhere in your rough copies, so that you have a recap of what was taught in the previous class. Thank you. Have a good day.